Hello everybody. If everybody's ready and sitting down, we may begin. Just checking, right. Well, thank you all for coming out. Beautiful day. I appreciate all of your time and hopefully you're going to learn some things and hear some things that you're going to enjoy. So, if you'll indulge me, I'd like to tell you a little story, and we are all, after all, storytellers, so I hope you don't mind, but my story started 27 years ago, just over there. A little British girl come to Las Vegas for the first time, and I was in Excalibur, because I'm British, and I walked out, and a 70-foot dragon came out of the moat and was breathing fire and battling with a wizard. And I thought, that's strange, I've not seen that before. And then as I walked out, there was a roller coaster going through the Statue of Liberty's head. And then I walked across the bridge and there were real lions walking around in the MGM. I continued a bit further down, and a young version of me thought that the Bellagio, My Way, was playing, was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen, and tears came into my eyes, and I was like, this is beautiful, carried on walking. And then the volcano at the Mirage was erupting, and there was fire everywhere, and somebody tapped me and said, you know they have white tigers in there that magicians make disappear. I'd never even heard of white tigers. I didn't know what they were, and then carried on, and then finally got to the pirate ships at Treasure Island, and a pirate ship came in, and someone was high diving, and there were explosions, and there was a big stunt fight, and then the ship sank, and at that point I dropped to my knees, and I said, this is the craziest place in the entire world, and I love it. And I fell in love with Las Vegas there and then, and I made a promise. And I said, I'm going to bring a show here one day, and it's going to be worthy of the soil of this town, and it's going to become a part of everything that people love here. And then I forgot that dream for a while. I went to work in the entertainment industry as an entertainment strategist and travelled the world and did very well, until about 4.5 years ago when Mr. Steve Hill, glorious CEO of the Las Vegas Visitors Authority and Convention Center, came to meet with me as the head of entertainment at a large media brand, and he started telling me about a ball, a glowing ball, that things would be happening inside, and tunnels under the ground with Tesla cars, and he kind of whispered, I think we have one's coming, because it was before all of that was built. And I remembered my promise. And shortly after that, I gave up my job as a successful entertainment strategist. And for the last 4 years, I've been assembling this team that you see in front of you today. And what I'm about to reveal to you today, which will hopefully change the entertainment landscape in Las Vegas forever. Certainly for the next 5 years, because that's how long we've booked for. So that's just a little bit of an indulgent story because I wanted you to understand how much this means to me today. So if I look behind me and the logo's up there, I will cry, just so you know. And then tonight, I have been living on the Strip. Tonight will be my 30th hotel. I have been speaking to everyone, going into every restaurant, every bar, asking people questions, finding out what they love about Las Vegas and what they don't love and why they're here and so on. Tonight, my 30th hotel will be back in Excalibur, where it all started 27 years ago. So, without further ado, what I'm going to do now is I have a few very, very special guests with me here today that I'm so extremely proud to have as part of this show. And I'm going to introduce them because they have some work to do. You know, and they're going to be doing that in the background while I'm talking at you. I'm sorry about that. The first person that I would like to bring up is Mr. James C. Mulligan. May you join me? James C. Mulligan, apart from being one of the finest men that you'll ever meet, is a fine Disney artist, Marvel as well. He's done Universal Monsters, Lucasfilm, you name it, he's an artist. And today we're going to unveil something very, very special for you. And they're going to become a part of Las Vegas. What he has created for you today. Thank you, Annie. Oh no, don't. Right, okay.
Now we need a Kleenex.
Okay, so Jimmy is going to go off, and whilst we're chatting today, he's going to be drawing over there. And at the end of that, he's going to present what he draws today to our fabulous charity partners here, Critical Care Comics. A percentage of every one of our tickets goes to Critical Care Comics and another 3 charities, 2 of which we've chosen and 1 we're looking for. So, you know, make some suggestions. So Jimmy, if you want to say a few words, and then go and get to work.
Right. I'm not British. I did just land from the UK yesterday, so if you hear me say lift instead of elevator, you know why. And I'm married to a Brit. Anyway, I was so excited. I've known Kelly for a number of years, and we have a number of mutual friends. It's understandably British as well. But with the number of brands that I'm working with right now, I thought, you know what, gosh, I need a little bit of elbow room. I need some freedom and some liberty. And these little guys were sort of jumping around in my heart and my head. And Kelly came to me and we chatted, and I'm really excited. Do I tell them what it is? I don't know what. All right. So we're going to be revealing it shortly. But I'm so excited for you guys to see them, and they've been sort of bubbling up for a while. So I think that Vegas is a very fun place for them to play, and I can't wait for you guys to meet them. So yeah.
Okay, special guest number 2. The person that I'm going to introduce you to now is quite possibly the most famous man in the world that you won't recognise. And the reason why is because Mr. Terry Notary is here with us today. He is the original master of movement. You would know him from creating the movement for Avatar, for Avengers, all 3 of the Russo brothers Avengers films, all 3 of the Planet of the Apes trilogy. He was Kong. He's been the BFG Giants. I could go on, but you can just Google him. His name is Terry Notary. Come and join me, Terry. So Terry plays a very important part of this show. He is going to be directing some of the set pieces that we're going to tell you about shortly, to do with HallowScreamFest, which will be activations all over the Strip and all over Las Vegas. So Terry is not only going to direct that, but he's also going to do, for a very limited amount of people, he's going to be creating making a movie monster masterclass, where people can come and learn how to become monsters in movies. He's creatures, robots, animals, you name it. But today, he's going to take a few special guests from this audience, and he's going to go and teach them, yeah, I see. He's going to go and teach them how to become a movie monster. Terry, do you want to say a few words before you get some victims?
Sure. Hi guys, thank you for having us. Thank you, Kelly. I just have to say, I've known Kelly for almost 10 years now, and she's a force of nature, so her vision is, I can see it, and I'm honored to be a part of it in my capacity that I'm gonna hopefully bring her vision to life. I love Vegas. It all started here for me, actually. I was a gymnast at UCLA and very competitive athlete, and I went and joined the Cirque du Soleil in the original cast of Astaire almost 30 years ago, and it changed my life as an artist. It taught me how to perform for applause rather than for, not to mess up, like in gymnastics. So I went from being judged to being applauded, and it was a life-changing experience. And it taught me about, how to create characters, how to build characters from the inside out, and how to inspire artists to be operating in their optimal potential. So I want to bring that back to Vegas and to this show. So I'm very serious about what I do. I'm not into cheesy stuff. I'm into really high quality, high level performance. So I think we're going to bring something that people haven't seen in Vegas ever, and we're going to bring it out to people so that they can experience something that is immersive and moving, that gets them to think about themselves and to reflect. So it's going to be bigger than jump scares, I can tell you that. So I'm excited, and thank you.
Would anybody like to volunteer before we just start snatching people out of the crowd? We have. Go. Okay, off we go. The other thing that Terry is going to be doing is he's going to be casting. He's going to be casting a lot of original characters and a lot of performance troupes here from Las Vegas locally, and then also in the surrounding areas of Los Angeles and San Diego and elsewhere. This is one of our pieces that we want to tell you today, is that there's going to be a lot of casting opportunities and a lot of roles and characters to be a part of this show. Now, there's a couple of things that I want to talk to you about specifically. Inside your packs, you have a show book. Now, there's two elements of this show that are very important. The first is, one, I hate conventions. I shouldn't say that, and it's meant in no way offensive to anybody that does like conventions or runs them. They're just not for me. So, what is an entertainment megacon, right? Because that's basically what this show is. It's over 22 zones, and each of those zones represents an element of the entertainment industry. So that's film, music, TV, sport, anime, games, everything from comedy and illusion, right the way through to our HallowScream kitchen with celebrity chefs. We have a zone called the Crossroads, where you'll have to make a wish and sell your soul to go inside. And when you do that, you'll come across tiki, tattoos, rockabilly, vintage, pin-ups, hot rods, and that sort of stuff. So that's a slightly different one of our zones from, say, our sports zone, the end zone, which will celebrate all things sports, or our film and TV zone, the final cut, which will celebrate all things film, TV, and streaming that are coming up, and anything that people are a fan of. So when I say zones, I don't just mean aisles of tables. I mean curated, themed, immersive zones that will be more like a theme park show than they will be at a convention traditionally. It takes over a quarter of a mile of the Las Vegas Convention Center, and then at the same time we have a Game Over zone, which will be inside the pyramid of the Luxor in HyperX Arena. That will stream back to the show, and there'll be a streaming competition, esports, all over the world, with exciting other things going on with mummies and you name it, you can imagine. We're working with the Las Vegas transport system. We're going to turn the monorail into a ghost train. That will have curated entertainment going on throughout. And also the loop underground will be theming and turning everything red, which is a bit of a theme, because as well as HallowScreamCon, which is our convention side of things, I got a little bit sick, and I'm sure you all are too, of people phoning me up and saying, Kelly, are you doing the right thing? And I would go, what? And they would go, Vegas is dead. Have you not heard? And I'd be like, well, that's funny, because I've been living on the Strip, and I'm on my 20 whatever hotel, and it's packed here. But I got so sick of that I was like, we've got to do something about this, guys, because she's not dead. She's maybe a little bit sleepy, but the plan is to wake her up next year. So you are going to see, we are in discussion right now a lot of very iconic activities and activations that have been famous on the Las Vegas Strip that maybe have been idle for decades. You're going to see them come back to life for one night only. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'm pretty sure you can probably work it out. And there's more than a few. So it's the entire city of Las Vegas, and then also that will be on the 2nd of October, where we try and turn the Strip red and we try and bring back old iconic Vegas. And then on the 3rd of October, we will look at downtown and also Area 15 and the Arts District. So that's just a little bit about HallowScreamFest. As I said, there's lots of different zones. We are associated with a lot of different charities. We believe that you shouldn't come to a town and take without giving, and that comes from the heart of all of the people that work on this show. So Critical Care Comics will receive a percentage of every ticket that we sell, and there will be an option to donate to a further 3, one of which will be Blood Cancer Unite, one of which will be NSPCA, because we have an animal in the show. It's not Kowalski, actually, although look at him, he should be the star, right? But you know, so we do that, and then we're also, as I said, looking for a final charity that we can work with. So please make suggestions. Now, there's something else and somebody else that I want you to meet, as well as obviously trying to explain a little bit of the flavour of this show and trying to make you understand that this is for everyone. Anyone that likes music, film, TV, games, dance, comedy, illusion, stunts, makeup, beauty, fitness, sport. I mean, literally, this show is for everyone. It was built for everyone and designed that way, so that everyone can come here and enjoy and find their tribe and become part of the community that we all need to be a part of, especially these days when our adventure and making memories is so important to our daily lives right now. But one of the zones is slightly different, and I have another very, very special guest that I'm going to introduce to you shortly. And that very special guest is Ken Levin. I'm going to bring him over in just a moment, but first I'm going to explain to you what that zone is. It's a zone called Scream Labs. Again, it's in your show book, you'll see it. And what it is the opportunity for people, and I want you to make a note of this because we're going to be taking submissions after today, for people that have a film or a TV show or a theatre show or a comic book that they want to launch. They will be able to submit that, and we will select 60 of those ideas, concepts. And during the show, we'll have an area called Scream Labs that will be built like a Frankenstein's laboratory, where people will get 15 minutes to pitch the life out of their idea, live to the whole of the world, who will be able to donate to that project. There will be a panel of Hollywood producers and established film experts, TV experts, and specialists in each genre that will offer, not to judge, because that's not what we're about. We don't judge people and we don't put people down. We encourage people. And the person I want to introduce you to today, Ken Levin, is the producer of Amazon. In fact, I believe it might be Amazon's biggest ever show. Yeah, he's nodding. The Boys and Voight Rising that's coming, and then also Preacher, a variety of other things. But this gentleman has spent his entire career helping people realize their dreams, finding ways to make that possible, and it is why we chose him to be our lead judge in something that we call Pitchcraft. Now, Pitchcraft will sit inside the Scream Labs, and this is our main guy, Mr. Ken Levin. Everybody, could you please come and say a few words for me?
Hi, a couple of quick things. One, I can't tell you, but I will, how enormously happy I am to be part of this. You get to a certain stage and have certain luck, and suddenly, people want to work with you, and it's kind of random, but when I've been doing this for a lot of years, when suddenly The Boys blows up hugely, it's like, oh, Ken, we want to work with you, because you must have had everything to do with it. No, but I'll take it. I started in entertainment when I had started my own law firm, broken off from the great Jenner & Black firm to do our own thing. And it hadn't occurred to us that one of the things that might be important if you're going to start your own law firm is clients. And we didn't really have any. So we took everything. And one day, two guys came in and said, one of whom was on a board of a not-for-profit with me. And they said, we want to start a comic book company. At the time, there were two comic book companies, Marvel and DC. There was also Archie, but we never counted Archie. And I said, that's cool, what do you want me to do? We want you guys to be our lawyers. And I said, you couldn't have picked somebody who knows less about what you're talking about. They said, well, we know what the deal should be. We've got $400,000 in investors in Los Angeles. I'm a Chicago boy. This was Chicago. We just need somebody to tell us what the legalese crap says, and then we'll know what should be. I said, okay, I could do that. And we put together an 80-page prospectus, and I learned everything there was to know about the comic book direct sale market, Marvel, DC, and it turned out all that Marvel and DC did were superheroes. They do it brilliantly, but that was all that they were doing. And then they came in one day, hangdog, and I said, what's the matter? And they said, our money fell through. They thought we were all moving to Los Angeles. Our families are here. We can't move. And I said, I like what you're doing. If you'd be interested, I'd like to take a swing and see if I can get you money. They said, great. So I called up a bunch of friends of mine and said, give me $25,000 and I promise you'll never see it again. And they said, why would that be a good idea? I said, we're going to start a comic book company. And they all said, great. And we did. And at that point, we couldn't compete with Marvel and DC money-wise because they could outbid us for everybody. So I became known as the father of creators' rights in the comic book industry, which was true, but not completely eleemosynary driven, although my ethos is with the creators always. But we couldn't outbid Marvel and DC, so we could say things like, well, how about if we make a toy from your comic, you'll get some of the money, or a television show, or a movie. And how about we won't bring another writer in if you don't want to do it anymore, unless it's okay with you. So that they had some ownership. And some of them said, no, I don't understand that. And some of them said, you mean I get to come up with my own thing? Yeah. And so we came up with such classic, literally classic comic book characters as Badger and Grimjack, and had an adaptation by the great Peter B. Gillis of the trilogy of plays Warp out of the Organic Theater, Stuart Gordon and Joy Montaigne. And then 14 years later, we sold it to a company that took it public, and all of our investors made about 11 times their money, which I was happy about that, but now I had nothing to do. And I still went to the comic book conventions, and these were all my friends. And right about then, television in Chicago went from 5 channels to 50 from satellite, and a year later, 500 through cable, and they had nothing to put on the air. And they would do things like go up to Kelly, the comic book creator, and say, Kelly, we saw your comic book. We love your comic book. We'd like to make a TV show out of your comic book. Who's your guy? Comic book creators lived in caves. They did not have a guy. I was the closest thing to a guy they had. And so they said, could you help? I was a trial lawyer, flying around the country, trying multi-million-dollar cases. So this wasn't about creating work or making money. It was about helping friends, because I could. And I called up a couple of entertainment lawyer friends out here and said, tell me how the pieces move around the board. Because trial lawyers have massive egos, and we think we can negotiate anything as long as we know what the coin of the realm is. And at that point, Rick Obadiah, First Comics initial publisher, and I sold the first independent comic book show to a company called Taft Entertainment. It was Rene Russo's first professional gig, called Sable. And it wasn't superhero, because we didn't do superheroes, but it was about a guy who did some amazing things. And Hollywood wasn't interested in comic books. They were for kids, and they were capes and tights, and that's what they were. So Batman was a joke, if you remember the old Adam West show. There was nothing taken seriously. And we kept knocking down on the door. And then I negotiated a deal for Max Allan Cowan's, probably the best, most successful genre writer, if not in history, certainly living today. And Max did a graphic novel called Road to Perdition. And Road to Perdition, when it became known that it was from a, quote, comic book, it was 304 pages. We would call it a graphic novel today. Every lemming producer in the studio in Hollywood would say, wait, are there any more like this that aren't capes and tights? And if there are, who do we know that knows those people? And I was the only one anybody knew. And I became very popular very fast. And that was the last trial I ever took. And I've been doing this ever since. Kelly comes up to me and says, here's what Pitchcraft's going to be. We're going to have 4 days, 60 pitches. You put together our team, you run it, here are the pitches, just 4 days. Okay, because its purpose is not to make money, its purpose is to give people an opportunity to do what in their gut they really want to do. That sounds great. And then I said to her, where are these people going to come from? We're going to have a press conference, and we're going to put out the word. We would like anybody who has a screenplay, an idea, a graphic novel they're working on. We don't care what format's it in. If that's their dream and it's in entertainment, we'd like to hear from them. We'd like to hear what they're doing. Okay, that makes sense to me. And we're going to get 60 of them. Aren't we going to get like 6,000 submissions? Kelly says, if we're lucky. Well, how are we going to get from 6,000 to 60? And she says, right, that's your thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out different genres, like horror, like comedy. And I'm going to put together teams of pre-judges. And they're not all, and we're going to have Zoom calls, and people are going to pitch us on Zoom. And we're not going to say you win, you lose. We're going to give them the kind of support and attention that we would give if they were part of a master class we were giving. Here's how you do a pitch. Here's what I love about it. Have you thought about this? Because that's what I spend half my life doing with creators. And we're going to do a Kickstarter, and we're going to raise, I hope, a whole bunch of money, so that we've got a pot of money, so that if somebody succeeds and is chosen out of the 60, and there doesn't have to be one, there can be 60, that'd be lovely. We can help them set it up so that they can see their dream actually happen and get their movie made, or get their television show made, or get their graphic novel published. And it's that eleemosynary aspect of this that I'm in love with, and I would be enormously flattered that Kelly chose me, except it turns out she met me at San Diego Comic-Con when I was there with Kowalski's first book, Mr. Boo. We're working on the sequel, which is called Mr. Boo 2. And we got introduced, and I knew who she was, and I knew what she was there for. And I said, so, you know, you want to go sit for a couple hours and talk? She said, is that your dog? I said, yeah, it's Kowalski. She goes, no, you're hired. This is going to be fun. It's going to be a joy, and any support you can give us in terms of getting the word out to potential creatives, we'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks.
I think we might have some movie monsters coming out. Are they coming? Let's see what our guys have ended up doing with 15 minutes. Does normally take 6 weeks, so 15 minutes, I think we got some good movie monsters right there. Thank you, everybody. You can come back in and take a seat now. You don't have to be monsters anymore because Kowalski will kill you. So, now, we're getting into the final parts, and I show you've all been sat very patiently and listening very attentively, and I do appreciate it because this, honestly, I can't stress this enough. This means the world to me. See, he is a monster, I told you. It really does mean a lot. And this dream has taken 27 years, and we have a year to go to create the greatest entertainment show. Set at Halloween, by the way. I didn't mention that. The reason being is because I was like, right, if we're bringing an entertainment megacon and an entertainment festival to the entertainment capital of the world, when do you do that? Right? It's too hot in the summer, arguably a little bit too cold in the earlier months. So we were like, later half of the year, it's either got to be Christmas or Halloween. And Halloween, let's be honest guys, is by far the most fun time of the American calendar. So it is an entertainment megacon set at Halloween in the entertainment capital of the world, taking over the whole city, the transport systems, our attractions and experiences. We have a lot of wonderful friends here today that I'd like to call out. You've seen Billy the Puppet here, so thank you very much for Egan Productions for coming out today. If you've never been to Escape It, or Saw, or Blair Witch, or John Wick, or the new Odyssey Manor, then what are you doing? Go! Right? We also have some of our friends here from Universal Monsters today. I do want to take a moment at Universal Horror Unleashed, Universal Monsters. It's been a long morning. I want to say a massive thank you to Sarah from Boulevard for this beautiful location. I wanted to be able to show you this dream right from where it started, and there's something very important that I want to tell you about, because HallowScreamFest will kick off on the 2nd of October next year from this very spot with Boulevard to create a monster run to the Welcome to Las Vegas sign that we then hope to turn into a float parade coming down the strip. And then throughout that 24-hour period, like I said, you might see some iconic things that haven't been around for decades. You might see them come back to life. And again, you can guess what they are. There's a couple of other quick things that I wanted to tell you about. The lady that you'll see on the big sign and on the front of your books, if you turn to a page in there, you'll learn about her. That's the Countess. That's our host. I've been an entertainment strategist for over 25 years, and I've worked with some of the biggest IPs, and people say, well, why don't you use Halloween? Why don't you use Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Why don't you use Harry Potter? La la la. And I say, because we're all about creating here in this family. So we've created our own monsters, and our own IP, and our own family to bring to Las Vegas that we want to introduce you to, because we hope that they're going to become a part of this soil too. So the Countess is a cursed showgirl who came to Las Vegas in the 1950s and was cursed by a cocktail called the Final Scream. And now she can only ever appear for 4 days a year. And she summons her victims to come to this show. She has friends in the Las Vegas Glampires who will be casting for knife throwers, contortionists, cabaret artists, beautiful, fabulous Glampires. And then we have the Dead Fellas, who are our cross between the Rat Pack and the Goodfellas and Monsters. So they'll need to be able to sing and dance, and we'll be casting for those too. This man over here, you see what he can do with Monsters, so you know, you can imagine what he's going to do with a real show. And then I am going to just quickly tell you, because I can see he's finished, or if not, he's taking a break. We have some baby monsters that we're going to be bringing. They're going to have escaped from the Scream Labs, and they're called the Pumpkins. And you're going to meet them in a very short amount of time, courtesy of Mr. James C. Mulligan. And these baby monsters want the children of the world to know that it's okay to be different, and it's okay to be a monster, but you must always be kind. And they are chaos, and they live on the Las Vegas Strip, and you're going to meet them very soon. We have puppets that are being made, or are currently about to be made, by Henson Puppeteers, and you will be able to meet them at a special Pumpkins family event on the Sunday next year. Along with other charity fundraising events that we're going to be doing throughout those 4 days. Importantly, I must tell you that our tickets, because this is one of the reasons why we're doing this, our tickets will go on sale for the very first time on the 31st of October this year. And those tickets, we believe that tickets for attractions should be accessible to everyone, because everyone deserves entertainment, and everybody deserves to come and have fun in Las Vegas. So these tickets will go on sale for the Saturday only. There will be a limited period of just the 1 day, and anyone that buys a ticket on that 1 day will receive a special pin. And they will be $45 only. And then obviously the rest of the tickets will go on sale just around Thanksgiving time, just before. And then that will obviously be other days and weekend passes and RIP passes and so on. But every ticket, like I said, a donation will go to our fabulous charity here. And if I haven't mentioned it before and you're not familiar with Critical Care Comics, the work that I cried for 4 hours when I watched the video. Just listen. They send in superheroes to Critical Care Children's Unit, and they deliver them hope, and they give them comic books and toys. And not all heroes wear capes, but these ones do. So, they need our help. They're a Las Vegas charity, and there's something that I really do want to tell you about, but I only want to mention it very briefly. One of the Pumpkins. We approached Critical Care Comics and we said, would some of your children like to name one of our baby monsters? Because James was very kind and said, you know, let's have the children name one. And they came back and said, you know what, there's a very special young man in Las Vegas who is a young boy who is suffering from his 4th round of cancer. And he's the bravest little boy in town. And we watched the video, and Jimmy and I looked at him. Are you bringing it over? He's bringing it over. And this little boy is named Benji. So we thought, rather than let the children name one of the Pumpkins, that this very special boy, very brave boy, and this character was written to be a very brave little monster, is called Benji, and he wears Benji's glasses. And Jimmy has drawn Benji today so that he can be given to.
You're a bit shorter than me. So, everything she said was absolutely true. This is the first time that any of these characters have been seen publicly. So I just wanted to present our very adorable little bat, Benji. So we're going to reveal in just a second, and also for everybody here, we're sending you with a very special gift, and I will autograph this. And you get to take it home, and they're limited. They are just for this event. So we're launching it today, and I don't want to come back and help me unveil this, Kelly? That means everybody's got to turn around, get off your duffs, and come watch this.
First time that anyone has ever seen these, and I will tell you that there's already some big discussions about what we're going to do. So this won't be the last time you see them. Ready? 3, 2, 1. There they are. So.
All right, Kelly, you go through and name them.
This is Isabel. She's our baby Medusa.
Yeah.
This is Tiki Taki, our baby Tiki god. This is Tutti, our mummy. This is Benji, everybody. And he wears Benji's glasses. He's the bravest little bat in town. Over here we have Whiffle. He's our baby abominable snowman. He's very frightened of everyone, and he's very good at hide and seek. We have Gilbert here. He loves splashing in the Bellagio fountains, because why wouldn't you? And this is Magnus. Magnus is our vegetarian baby vampire. He's a clean freak. He doesn't like the chaos that everybody else creates. And this is our little superstar. This is Scampkin. He's a graffiti artist, and he's a naughty little fella, but he's got the biggest heart of them all. There's some more in the book. I want you to come and read their stories and learn all about them when you have a minute. But thank you, Jimmy. What a beautiful set of baby monsters for Las Vegas. Now, we are Con, which means we cover everything to do with entertainment. I've got another mic. Look at me. Twinning. Yes, we have every element. So music is a big part. We are also a global entertainment convention. So we are currently, one of our zones is called Around the World, and it has different celebrations from around the world, different cultures, different music, anything that you can imagine. So we have today, we have K-pop artists that will be coming over for the first time from Korea. We are going to be producing a soundtrack for the show. Again, everything we're doing is original, with original creatives and the best in the business, I have to say. I'm very proud to say. So today, for the very first time, we're going to let you listen to one of our soundtrack songs. So this is from Tixa from Dubai. A huge DJ over there called Ben Caesar has collaborated. So I'd like you to have a little listen to the first outing of one of our soundtrack songs. Steve, hit it. I'm not going to dance, I promise.
for comment because Jack's back! What do you say, freakos? Did that do it for ya? Say hell yeah, Jack! Hell yeah! Woohoo!
Thank you, guys. I told you we had some fabulous monsters for you to play with today. And our friends at Universal Horror Unleashed, thank you very much for coming out and enjoying our celebration with us today. I don't think I have anything else to talk to you about, and you guys have probably heard quite enough for one day. So, here's my suggestion. You have your books, you have your packs, you have contact details, hopefully for all of us. Please enjoy some food and drinks. We're going to stick around. Oh, look who's coming. There he is. That's all right, mate. What was that? It's not funny. Anyway, you've all been wonderful and you've all been very patient with us, and thank you ever so much for your time today. We're going to stick around, and if there's anybody that you want to interview, from Terry to Ken to James to myself. I should also point out our team are here today. Our head of production, Steve Pallady, is over in the corner. Give us a wave. So if you want to speak to him, 30 years in the biz. Mr. Sean Cummings is over here, please. Head of operations and logistics. Somewhere she's hiding. Oh, there she is. Our head of hospitality with her HallowScream fan. Thank you very much. Bit of branding there for you guys. They're all in your, you know. Spoiler alert, they're in your bags. And then who else do we have here? Our consultant for PR, Anne Pallady's here. I want to say thank you so much today for Brain Trust. I really appreciate your help in trying to get everybody here today. Just a little girl from London, so I don't know who you lot are, do I? So we've been relying on wonderful people locally to help us out. I'm just trying to think if I'm missing anyone. Obviously the rest of our team are all over the world, in 12 territories in fact, as part of Scream Masters International, which is why we're able to give you a true global offering. The Scream Masters USA events team have been absolutely wonderful, and we couldn't be prouder to be a part of this and what we're doing here in this town. We really, really want all of you guys to be involved. We want you to follow our journey. We want you to, our arms are open. So we want all of the local businesses. We want anybody that wants to come and play in our playground to come and let it be known, because we're here and we're not going anywhere, and we're coming to set fire to the strip, albeit not actually, but hopefully, you know, make a bit of noise. So that's enough of my waffling on. If I've missed anything or anyone, no? Make it be known.
Make sure they get their stuff signed.
Oh yeah, make sure you get your pumpkins signed, and go and have a look at our little fellas. They really are delightful. And I'm not just saying that, I'm a bit biased, but I'm not just saying that, they really are beautiful. So, you may leave.